Alright, one more video for today. So day 3, 4.2, we're still writing equations to parallel lines right now. So the warm-up is a line has a slope of 2 and passes through the point 1,5. Write an equation of the line. This should be just like what we did in the notes and what you did in the homework yesterday, so it should be pretty much a breeze, but if you need help, please let me know. Go ahead and pause the video and work on that, and then come back. So yesterday we were given an equation and the y-intercept, or the slope and a point. Okay, so today we're going to be given an equation and a point. Okay, so the steps, find the slope using the equation, and then we're going to do just kind of what we did yesterday. You're going to plug in x, y, and the slope to find b, and then plug those back into the equation again. So yesterday that you were given the slope and the point, now we're given the equation in order to find the slope, so we're just kind of adding that extra step in, okay? So the instructions are write an equation of a parallel line, given a point on the line, and the equation of the parallel line, okay? So lots of words being used, but again, we're just trying to write an equation that's parallel. So parallel means we have the same slope, okay? So line passes through the point 1/4, comma 8, and is parallel to the line represented by the equation y equals 2 minus 4x. Write the equation of the line. Okay, and again, I want to try and find all these little pieces of information. What is m? What is b? What is x? What is y? Okay, so I'm going to zoom in so you guys can actually see my work here. So I'm going to write the equation y equals 2 minus 4x. Now, I can find my slope from this equation. I just need to kind of manipulate it a little bit. Now, some of you might be able to see right away what the slope is without actually moving it around, and that's fine, but if you can't, I want y equals, I want this part to go first, right, because I want the mx. So negative 4x plus 2, because this is a positive 2 here. So what is the slope that I'm going to use? So m equals negative 4. Okay, it's because remember slope is always the coefficient in front of x, okay? So in my wonderfulness over here, I'm going to write negative 4. I don't know what b is. I need to find that in order to write my equation. And if you remember before here, x is 1/4, so I got a fraction involved, but that's okay. And y equals 8. Okay, and that's from the point that they gave me. Okay, so just kind of an extra step from yesterday. We have to find the slope using the equation versus it being given to us. So now, knowing all of this information, I'm going to plug and chug it again. So I have y equals mx plus b, and I'm going to plug everything in. So y equals 8. Oops, sorry, you guys can't see that. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. M is negative 4. X, remember that there's an invisible multiplication sign there, is 1/4 plus b, because b is what I'm solving for. Okay. Now, I happen to know that negative 4 times 1/4 is negative 1. If you need a calculator to do that, that's fine. Or you can do it off to the side, you know, negative 4 over 1 times 1/4. And do negative 4 over negative 4, which is negative 1. Okay, so if you need to either show the work or use a calculator, however you need to do to get that. Okay, now I'm going to solve for b over here, so I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So I get b equals 9. Okay, and from before I know that m equals negative 4. So now, one more time, I can do y equals mx plus b. And I'm only, when I do the second y equals mx plus b, I am just doing the m and the b because I want an equation, okay? So I get m is negative 4x. Sorry, I'm a little shaky. I'm trying to move this without being annoying, okay? Plus 9. Okay, so that's my equation. So when I get my final answer, an equation should have x and y in it. I don't want a number for x and y. I want the actual letters, x and y, in my problem, okay? Here we had to plug in x and y so I could figure out what b is. Okay, but the final answer should have an x and y in it. Okay. Alright, so now our next example is going to be similar, but instead of giving us an equation, they're going to give us 2 points, okay? So step 1, using our slope formula, so you might need to look back at 4.1 if you've forgotten what the slope formula is. I'll also write it here. Remember, our slope formula is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so once you find the slope, you're going to plug in all those points and find the slope. You're going to choose one of the 2 points we were given and use that for x and y. And then you've already found m. You're going to plug all those in, solve for b, and then plug m and b back in. Okay, so we're just kind of adding that extra little step. Instead of finding the slope from the equation, we're going to find it from the 2 points. Okay. So it says write an equation of a line that passes through the points 1, 3, 2, -4. So I'm going to write these top to bottom for each other. Okay. Now some of you like to do it left to right, I'm sure, like we learned the other day. And I'm also going to write m equals b equals, which is what I'm going to end up needing to find, x equals and y equals. Okay. So let's find the slope first. So remember, this is my x and y point. This is the first point, the second point. So I have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, okay, which is going to equal -4 minus 3 is -7. 2 minus 1 is 1, so my slope is just -7 here. Okay, because -7 over 1 is still -7, so I don't need the over 1 part. Now, notice in the last kind of steps I have just 1 point, but here I have 2 points. So I just choose one. It doesn't matter which one you choose. I usually choose the smaller one just so I don't have such big numbers, and I like positive numbers, so I'll choose the positive one. So the x in this one will be 1 and 3, or you can use 2 and -4, whatever way you want to do it. So now I have my m, I have my x, I have my y, so I can solve for b. So I have y equals mx plus b. So I get 3 equals -7 times 1 plus b. So I get 3 equals -7 plus b, because -7 times 1 is -7. I'm going to add 7 to both sides, so I get b equals 10. Okay. Once I get that b equals 10, I'm going to get m equals -7 from earlier. Now I'm going to finally plug that into, again, y equals mx plus b. So remember my final equation, I want the y and the x to be there. So I have y equals -7x, because m is -7, plus 10. Okay, and that is the equation of the line that goes through those 2 points. Okay. There is no exit slip today, and the homework is page 164, number 12 through 15 all. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.